Hello out there, everybody. I'm not exactly sure if this is, working the way that it is supposed to, or but I will wait and see if I get some sort of comments out there, and I'll give people a couple minutes to let me know if they, happen to see me. This is new. This is through. I'm using OBS to stream on YouTube, so I'm not sure how this exactly works, but I will certainly. Hopefully, at the very least, it'll hopefully be a learning experience. The topic and reason for me to do this today was I got a box back from SGC, which is a pretty small box, but it is, a shipment that I sent in February, and it took like way longer than I expected to get back. And I think most people got things back relatively quickly. Now, most of that is because it has a Argentine tint to it from the early 40s. So I guess I'll just go ahead. I don't really see any comments or anything, so I'm not exactly sure if this is even working, but I will go on this now. Actually, let me just see if anybody can anybody see this, and because I'm just not getting any feedback at all from like sometimes when you stream things live you can see the quotes on the side, and I can't see anything. So here is, I kind of like these when they pack the boxes like this. I mean, very sturdy way for cards to get there. So this is solid. Oh, hey, thanks, JT. Appreciate that. Letting me know this is working. All right, so here we go. Tuxedo time. Here you go. Tuxedo time. So actually, yeah. So it looks like, yeah, they're commenting on why the thing isn't popping up. Let me see. Maybe there's some sort of a setting here. Again, I'm just terrible with this stuff, guys. Let me see. I just cannot find anything that shows. Yeah, I'm sorry. Unless somebody happens to know, and you can put it in the Discord social media thing about why the chat is not working. I'm in settings, controls. All right, well, unfortunately, because that's not going to work, I guess you can put any of your comments in the social media tab of the Vintage Soccer Cards Discord, and I'll try to read them there. Again, sorry for the crazy nature. Oh, see if your chat is up. But I don't even see where you see that. Is it studio mode? No. Shoot, guys, sorry. Controls. Man. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna get to it. Look at it's not even that big of a submission. It's like 20 cards. So yeah. Oh, hang on. Maybe I can chat on the phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. So now on the phone, this can chat, and so all right. So we got Paul all right, we got Andre. Wow, we got on a very short notice here. A lot of people. I think this will be Seb. Awesome. So, yeah, so this again was highly focused. I think exclusively vintage, mostly cards, which is, most people know this is mostly what I do. Cards that SGC had graded before, and cards that PSA doesn't grade. So so I can read your stuff, guys. I just don't want to type on my phone here. So, all right, guys. Hey, good to see all you guys. So this again is a relatively small but very, very important submission from my perspective. Oh man, I don't even want to. I'm gonna save these for the end. There's some really good stuff in here. Love this submission. Okay, so the first card, which you guys may know, is from the 1926 Chocolates Aguila. These cards are really cool. Look at that back here. They come from Argentina. This is, and in all of these, this is what another thing I love about vintage. I said it 100 times. If you get a 1, if you get an A, if you get a 2, you get a 3. I mean, this is what you expect in these things. These things are 100 years old. It's crazy these things even, survived. So, I think that these are just amazing. And this particular one is Pedro Ochoa, and he was a great player for racing. He also was a world-class tango dancer, little known fact about him. So yeah, great to have Pedro Ochoa. If you haven't learned about him, he's definitely worth a read on Wikipedia. See if you can find him out there. The next one from the same series is a super young. This would be close to his rookie card, Raimundo Orsi. He also has a dollar card from 25 to 27. Hard to date that dollar card, so you could easily consider it, certainly as Andre likes to say, rookie material. Absolutely, 1926. Again, super cool back on these as well. Oh, let me see. My phone went dark, so I'm going to try to see if people are commenting at all here, so I can at least get to your questions. So I'll pull that up as well. But yeah, so a couple really cool Chocolatitas Aguila cards. Love those. So those are good. Really, really good. Let me see here if there's a way that I can see my channel. Okay, so all right, let's continue, and now we've got okay, thanks Andre for looking. I mean, and I'm realizing here the light isn't fantastic, but here's Valentino Massola, beautiful circular card. The art is super hard to. I'm gonna have to scan these and post these. This thing's just amazing. Hang on, sorry, right in the middle of this, I've got, it looks like a DHL thing. So, gosh, hang on one second. Sorry about that. Okay, so so this is Massola. He's got a lot of great cards from the 40s to the 50s. One of the most amazing, the best pre-war Italian players out there. This again is a 1 just because of the back, but the artwork on this is just crazy good. Again, I'm gonna have to scan this stuff. Yeah. Thanks for, the Mazzola is just amazing. And yeah, more cards always. I get multiple shipments a week. Most of them international, which is really fun. Again, this is a more traditional size card, a Masola. You can see the colors here on the side, right here. I probably should have set up another camera. Most of these have blank backs, so again, nothing to write home about on the backs, but really nice front. Super great Italian, player. That's another Mazzola. So we had a couple of Mazzolas. I love mail, man. I just, it's so funny. I can't not buy cards. I just can't. Okay, so this is super cool. This is Argentine issue. It's Arsenio Rico, which some of you may know. He's actually the highest all-time scorer in the Argentine first division, and he's actually Paraguayan. And this is a really cool Figoritas Bicicleta card. Hopefully you guys could appreciate that. And to get this never stuck is insane. So to get a 5 is just like crazy, off the charts. So yeah, Seb just sent in a Piola as well. So, and they wouldn't grade it. It's so weird. I don't understand half the stuff that they do and don't do. And I had a couple other issues from this beautiful bicicletas, and these were all never stuck, which is just insane. This issue is from 1947. You can see these backs. These actually did have a back. Most of them will show up all torn up in this, but these Figoritas Bicicleta are awesome. Now, SGC used to cut out, they used to have this standard, this custom cut, which would just make these really cool colors like this green here pop. Unfortunately, now they just take the lazy way out. It doesn't look terrible. It's just, I don't love it as much as those custom cuts. But right now, you know what? The fact that they at least graded these are, this is pretty amazing. And this is I think they spelled this wrong, although, yeah, okay. This is Norberto Mendez, another great Argentine, and again a 4 on these bicicleta, with this bicicleta back. This one has a different printing. This happens a lot in these. I'm not sure I'm great for these live things between my door, my phones. It's just sometimes it's better just to tell everyone that I'm just filming and whatever. But my point is, sometimes you're going to see backs that look like this, and then sometimes you're going to see them that look like this. And this is pretty common in many Argentine issues, that they'll have the same cards with different backs. Some of them have different advertising. Some of them have placed in different ways. Some of them have different colors. Some of the times they're blank. Some of the times there's prizes. So the back variation really depends on the issue of the particular card. And this is pretty cool because it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare to, I'm showing you the back, but just because I was talking about it. So this one was removed, but removed very well. Not a lot of back damage, and none other than the amazing Brazilian great Zizinho. So anything of his pre-1950, because the Brazilian issues are so tough, is just gold to me. His rookie card, I think, is 1941. So this is a 1947, but making an appearance on an Argentine issue is just crazy. So anyway, this is Zizinho. So some amazing, just to recap here, some amazing Figoritas Bicicleta cards. Arico, Mendez, Zizinho, Carlos Sosa, Norberto Mendez, and these have just got to be my highest grade ones because they were all in never stuck conditions. Yeah, JT, having those clean backs is just insanely cool and rare. The next issue that some of you may know, but I don't think I've seen any of these for sale in a super long time, is the 1934 Puerto Noblasa, right, issue. And hang on here. So yeah, asking live. Yeah. So so the Puerto Noblesa is a black and white set, and it is, a little bit less exciting than the Lay set because they have these blank backs, but it's 1934, so having them, they're a couple years earlier, and so, the way that we all are with collectors, we want the earliest cards typically. This is Francisco Varelo. So he actually was amazing player for Argentina, and I think there's a 1931 or 32 card of his. I can't really remember, but you don't see these Puerto Noblesas that much. They're black and white, but they're still really cool. And again, almost all this Argentine, almost all this Argentine stuff is pretty tough to find, really in any condition. So like a 1 wouldn't scare me at all. If you found, somebody selling some of these, like Fernando, sells these every now and then. But if you're on the Discord in the 1949 buy sell trade and somebody has these, don't be scared off if it's a 1, because a lot of these cards won't come around if you don't get them now. They won't come around for another couple years. So here's a Francisco Varela. Here's and those of you who have been kind of following some of the new work, which I love some of the things that are going on out there. I mean, Andre continues to put out a ton of content, but we have also had a couple of amazing videos that are not getting enough views from oh gosh, what's the channel called? Shoot, what's it called? Where there's a talk on La Máquina, and then there's an Argentine video. Why am I drawing a blank here? Shoot. Well, anyway, that I'll post again in the Discord, which I already had some videos that you guys have to watch if you're into this type of stuff, because he's just doing a great job. I'm providing him some scans so he can do these videos, and just bring some more knowledge to the hobby about these super rare early issues. The next one is Bernabe Ferrara. I don't know why they're calling these, if you look at SGC, they're calling them all small letters. I wasn't aware that there was a difference in small letters and thick letters, and all of these are small letters. So I don't know. I've seen a different version than these, but here's a 3, which is amazing because it was never stuck. Super tough. So yeah, you gotta, like Alex C was saying, when you see pieces like this, if it's a player you collect, you almost gotta grab it. I mean, it's hard sometimes to stretch because you're like, wow, should I pay this X amount for, and a player that a lot of people think are obscure, or a lot of people would. But I'll tell you, I think now there's enough people who've done enough research, and that, few of these really great players are truly obscure to at least a solid group of true collectors trying to put together rarities. So, that's just, generally my advice. I wouldn't stretch for cards that have, pops of, 100 or 200, in the, the 70s, 80s, or 90s right now, because you don't need to. These cards are going to come up again. But if you find stuff like this in the player you want, the condition, eye appeal, issue, all of those, got to check all your boxes, whatever your boxes are. Then go after some of the stuff. At least that's what I'm doing, and I'm still getting stuff from South America, multiple times a week of just cool and interesting thing. So we already talked about Arsenio Rico before. Here's a 2.5 in this 1934 Puerto Noblasa. Now this, I think, is his rookie card. So this is mega important card. All-time leading scorer of the first division, and in a really beautiful eye appeal card. So yes, super happy to have these. And most of these, in fairness, I've had kind of in my collection for the last, I don't know, 5 to 8 years. And I just finally got around to grading them when SGC dropped down to $30, I think it was. I submitted these, but I submitted them back in February, and they had they just sat on them, and I pinged customer service and basically got the runaround. Oh, we had too many submissions and stuff, but yet I knew people that submitted later stuff, and then the funny thing is, so they won't listen to me like when I submit things on certain things, but I get multiple messages from them asking for help identifying other issues. So it's kind of weird. Like in one way, they kind of trust when I say something, the year and stuff, and then in other ways, they say, no, we know better than you, but then they call me about other issues. So, I don't know what's going on over there, but anyway, it's nice to have these cards back in nice holders, because they do look better to me than they do in top loaders when they're in this. And here's the next one. Delfin Benitez Cáceres. And Delfin is obviously his nickname. His parents didn't call him. Delfin is dolphin in Spanish. His parents didn't call him Dolphin, but he was so slick on the pitch that he was nicknamed the Dolphin. And he is another guy from Paraguay, from what I recall. And this is really cool. You don't typically see this side image on these. Most of them are front portraits. Really like this one. Have a couple of his other lays, cards, and other ones, but totally underrated guy. If you guys haven't, take a Wikipedia of him in English and read about Benitez Cáceres, the Dolphin or Delfin. Here is, a second Rico rookie. Oh yes, classic. Totally right, Seb. Thank you. Classic soccer cards. He's got the website. He's created a couple of videos. Go to his website, check out his YouTube videos. He's done 2 so far, but he's putting in a ton of effort. And I just checked a day or 2 ago, and he had 30 views or 60 views. And this is important documentation for the hobby. And honestly, I would do more of it if I had more time, but I just can't. And he's willing to do it, and he's cataloging sets out there, and he's getting things be able to be graded by SGC and PSA. So go to his channel. There's so few soccer content creators. Give him a follow, subscribe, like his videos. A lot of work into it, a lot of good information, which sometimes it's hard, just like I'm sitting here saying, oh, go look at, Rico. He's a cool player. But he'll even give you more context about, the time and the league and some of his records. I mean, I could read those off YouTube, but I hear him mostly to just talk about the cards. But he's even given better background, and I think he's doing a way better job at me at framing these eras, and hopefully you'll find some of that stuff interesting. And as Champ said, he's got a Patreon as well to help you to fund his work. It takes, I can't tell you how many hours it takes to make these videos and slideshows, and he's taken time out of his life to educate others, and just at the very least like his videos. You could also, if you have a few extra dollars in your pocket, you can support his Patreon. So anyway, and it's Daniel, I believe. I think that's right. And then here's another Sastre. Again, if these aren't names that just Google them, Wikipedia them, and I think you can. I love falling in love with new players. I don't know if you guys have that same thing where you're like, oh my God, I remember the time that I found out about the story about Pepe, the early Portuguese, prolific scorer. And you just read these stories and you kind of connect to the history and you wonder what would be, and you frame it and position it kind of in your brain based on your experiences. And then you decide, hey, I'm going to collect this guy. And I don't really care what the market says. And it's not to make a lot of money. It's just, I want to, provide the history of some of these players. And I think if you read through these players, you're going to find, you got the field generals, you've got the party animals, you've got the, like the Jan Morenos, right? That went and won titles in 4 different countries. I mean, that guy was just a freaking winner. Everywhere he went, he won. So you've got all these different personalities. You've got midfielders, defenders, you've got, strikers, wingers. You've got people who changed the game, like the Machina players, that which really was a major inspiration for later Clockwork Orange and the Dutch team. And ultimately everything, how Cruyff continued to change the game. So there's a lot of cool stuff out there. And just, it all starts with an appreciation for history and reading about these guys. Okay, so now I'm down to the last 4, and this is positively one of my all-time favorite sets. We all have, things that we gravitate to, and I can't even tell you why this is one of my favorite sets besides just the feeling of these cards. And I hope it comes across on this video, because here you've got this is Figoritas Cola, and these are round discs, right? And they're big, so they're meaty. I was trying to see if I had another card around here, but anyway, you get the idea. Everybody knows what an SGC slab is, I guess. So they're meaty. These aren't tiny little pogs. These are meaty discs. Almost all of these are like ones. They've been removed. Some of them are even broken because these were big, so they're easier to bend and stuff. And so these Figoritas Cola, I love them, from 1951. This particular one is Angel Labruna, and I just love this. Look at that River Plate red sash there, just gorgeous, tremendous cards. Just love this issue. And actually PSA just approved this set to be graded. So I just sent in, I think I had maybe 1 or 2 additional ones of these I sent into PSA to see how they look in PSA holders. Okay, here's a Felix Lestau. This was great. I did a Felix Lestau video on YouTube, and then ironically I got his grandson reached out to me and was, appreciative that I was continuing to document, how great and important of a player Lostau was. And gosh, man, that just makes you feel so good, right? Documenting history, continuing not only important football, history, but also this guy's family, history, as well. That was pretty, special to me. And then here you have Amadeo Carrizo, one of the best goalkeepers in the 1940s through 50s. Just amazing. Again, these are blank back, so a lot of them are stained with glue or damaged on removal. But it's hard for me in this camera to get you that beautiful blue. You're getting the chandelier reflection. Sorry about that, guys. But this beautiful blue in this card. I mean, I don't know why we're so fascinated about old cardboard, but this thing is just gorgeous. And to think that with all of the turmoil in Argentina, that these big, hefty cards are fragile and can break, made it, what is it, 60 plus years at this point, is amazing. So, gosh, this is the last card in this submission. And then, actually, if anybody has any questions, I'm on here. It looks like we've got, more than 20 people watching, which thank you guys for the interest. Didn't mean to blow in your Friday night, but the package came and I'm like, all right, let's open it up. And again, sorry for the technical difficulties of not really knowing what I'm doing here, but this one, oh, such a beauty. Okay, so here's your JM Moreno Figoritas Cola, and I mean, this may be a top 10 card in all of my collection. Again, I forget about this 1.5. The color on this thing just pops. This yellow, I think I'm seeing on my screen here a little bit better than some of the blues or greens. It just pops. The clarity, the stash, a lot of these print off center, so you get this Figoritas Cola. You can see it all the way there perfectly. This meaty, beautiful card. I mean, he's playing for Boca here. This is when, he comes back after the strike, and, he comes back and plays for Boca. Still absolute legend. Blank back, lots of glue. I don't care about that. It's this that I care about. I mean, if this isn't an epic card, I don't know what is, because this for me just basically does it all. So yeah, I it's beautiful to get this stuff, and to have it, and like Brad says, it's weird. I mean, not totally, a turn on in that way, but it's just, there's a special feeling about getting these pieces, and they really are pieces, that, from different parts of the world that document, the history of this great sport, the world's greatest sport. And to be like temporary holders of these little masterpieces, it just, I don't know, it hits me in a way that is probably bizarre to 99% of people. But I'm glad there's at least, 20 plus of you guys out there that feel the same way. It's always nice to find your tribe and have some conversation and something in common with people. And it's even cooler to have, all these people from all over the world. I mean, I'm looking at some of these names here, and we got people from Portugal, the UK. We've got people from freaking Texas. That's its own different country, right? It was for a bit of time, right? You got Champ out there, and he's kind of like from a different planet, himself. So we got all sorts here, and we're all different, but yet we're all the same in our love for these historical artifacts to use. And we even got a freaking Bill McCarthy on here saying that I'm definitely bizarre, which he would know because he is too. So if anyone would know, it'd be Master Bill. So anyway, kind of a review on what we got. And if you guys want to dump some, we got some Brazil in here as well. You're right. Thanks, Jose Roberto. So we've got some, again, this is the Puerto Noblasas, including what I think is the Arico rookie. Amazing. We had some nice Figoritas Cola from 1951. Some great cards here. Lostau. And one of my all-time favorite cards. This, I think, is even on a border of some of my another one. So I have two of these. I just crazy for that cardboard. We had some of these Figoritas Bicicleta that were never stuck. These were just crazy, including the ever rare Zizinho. We had a couple cool Masolas. Include the beautiful disc here, and these, all of these things are just super cool. And we started off with a couple of Chocolates Aguila, including Raimundo Orsi and Pedro Ochoa, the great dancer. So we're certainly all weird here that we like this stuff. We're burning a bit of our Friday afternoon / evening / late evening for those of you guys in Europe. And certainly happy to stay on here. Again, I can't hear anyone, but if anybody wants to put some a question or two or something else you want me to discuss on this day, I'm happy to do that. I did want to, since we got you guys out here, and I said a little bit of a hobby talk. I think there was Bill and I did our video yesterday, but I really there was a fact today, or what I'm going to treat as a fact, that really kind of shook me today, and what it means for the soccer card market. I think it was Seattle, like C Seattle or something. I can't remember. Said that he had talked to someone at PWCC that knew how people pay for auctions, and that it has been over the last little while. 50% of payments have come in crypto, which really shocked the hell out of me. And if in true that's fact, and not conjecture, I would be certainly frightened about some material downside risk to the collectibles and card market, because suddenly those values have halved in the last couple months. So it just goes without saying that that'll should constrain some spending. To what extent? The real answer is we don't know. Was that one auction? Was it most auctions? I would have expected the number to be somewhere between 5 and 20% on any given auction, and maybe 10 to 15% in aggregate with all auctions, meaning that it could have an impact, but it wouldn't have a material one. But if in fact 50% of stuff is paid for via crypto, I think that definitely does not bode well for stabilizing some of even the prices that we've seen, which are significantly below from kind of the peak we saw, many months ago. So that was just one thing that came up today in my mind. Really kind of thinking about how to guess the impact that may have on our market. Yeah, that's just a random thought today. So I think we'll continue to marinate, watch some of these auctions, what happens, and then Bill and I will talk about how we see that going in the next state of the market. Another question that I got here while we were talking was, how do I source these things on eBay? No, I've never seen actually any one of these cards, I don't think, on eBay. Well, that may not be true. Some of the Argentine sellers may had a Puerto Noblasa, Noblese, or potentially Figoritas, Bicicleta. Maybe one of these. But in general, I think the most commonplace historically, again, almost all of these cards, I think all of them I acquired many years ago and just never got around to grading. Is through sellers. We have some Argentine sellers that are on the Discord. So you Fernando probably being the largest one, but there are at least 3 or 4 different Argentine sellers on the Discord. And then we also have you can also check Mercado Libre, in Argentina specifically, but also you can check Mercado Livre and in Brazil. It's hard because you can't really set up an account and have them shipped to the U.S., so you need to get some local helps, which I think there are also people on the Discord that do that as a convenience service. So some of those things, but I think that it's super rare that I find super rare things on either of those sites today, because I think a lot of the Brazilian pickers are picking that stuff up pretty quickly, and the Argentine pickers as well. So they know what's good, and if they see a Jam Moreno out there, they're picking it up and buying it for themselves and then trying to resell it. So I would say that for most people who don't have all those contacts, probably the best way is just on the Discord for the vintage stuff, which would be that 1940. I think we have 19 up to 1949. Is that right? That's the category. Let me see. Yeah, 1949 and earlier tab. So just check that. I would say that a lot of the stuff happens to move quickly when it's some of these nicer items. Okay, wow. So Andre says that eBay is looking at accepting crypto. Yeah, I mean this is crazy. I mean, my comment was particularly about how I think there could be downside due to demand destruction based on the crypto markets crashing here over the past couple of months. That's what I was talking about, Andre. But I think that in general, if there are gains in crypto and they can trade those into sports cards, I think that provides a bit of uplift of demand. And if there are losses in crypto, it provides a bit of demand destruction. Now, at the same time, the more people that accept it, that also helps to build, the narrative that crypto has a brighter, future than maybe Warren Buffett would believe. I'm very light into crypto. I probably, my aggregate, just for disclosure, exposure to crypto is probably less than 0.2% of my investable assets. So it's not a game that I play, but I watch and am waiting for some developments to decide whether to get involved in it or not. It's just, you got to be cognizant of different things, how they affect our market. So, yeah, Axel C, said that he doubted it was 50%. And he also doubted it was 10%. That was actually a legit fact alleged, from someone within PWCC that had told the Discord member that today, and that was, a point of discussion. So again, I can't guarantee that this is in fact the truth. I believe that he believes that it's the truth, and for now, I think that's just a cautionary wow, because I would never have guessed it was 50%. And then somebody's asking if I have a store. I have an eBay store where I post some dupes. You can reach out to me directly, DM me on Discord if you see something you like. We can avoid the eBay fees. It's El Rey on eBay. That's my store. It has, I think that's all you need to know. I can place most people know it, but I can place a link in the Discord if you wanna see that. And actually, it's funny because I'm not on eBay that much except to ship cards that I sell. And I happened to be on today, and I was searching for Maetza cards, and I happened to see that Bill had a really nice postcard of Maetza, which if one of you guys doesn't buy that, I'll likely try to get that from William here. So, and his is Collect Football, just like our names on the Discord. I think that's why we kept them there, is that we already had sold on eBay. That used to be a big place to get some of these cards. You just don't see them that much anymore. And as I had mentioned before, I have never seen any one of these cards that I saw in this SGC submission auctioned at PWCC or Golden. They're just incredibly uncommon. Guarantee that every single card that you saw here in this submission is a pop 5 or less. At current grading, and I wouldn't imagine most of these would get above 10 to 20 would shock me. If you find 20 Colas Jam Morenos, I would be absolutely crazy shocked. I think the number you're going to likely see is somewhere between 5 and 10, and that'll be the case with most of these cards. Well, let me just double check. Thanks everybody for blowing a little bit of your Friday night here with me. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. It doesn't look like we have many other questions. So, without any more questions, I will just sign off here, and really hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend, and enjoy your collecting. Hopefully you can win some things in the PWCC on Sunday. There's some cards that are really going to be fun to watch in that auction. And, I've pulled some cards to do my best of the 1950s list which would be one of my YouTube series that I haven't completed. So so I'm gonna continue to do that, and hopefully I'll get around to posting it sometime in the next week or two. But certainly appreciate all you guys. Glad we could share this love of cardboard together, and have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.